Welcome back to Gear Check Games. This is episode 11 of our Kingdom Hearts 1.5 for the PlayStation 4 playthrough. So like we said before we started recording, we're gonna aimlessly walk around Deep Jungle until we find the plot.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, look, here it is.
What is the story of this? Okay, I know the story.
Well, yeah, it's pretty simple. The Heartless are haranguing the gorillas.
Yeah.
And you
The
must
story
end them.
is Tarzan happens, and then we shoehorn in a reason to fight a bunch of enemies in a bunch of different areas without inserting anything substantial into the plot of Tarzan the movie.
The story
Seems
is
legit.
of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
God, I'm about to cry a river.
Also, Clayton's there.
Yeah.
Riddles.
I like how Clayton's the only villain in the first one who's not in the huddle. Yeah, he's got the biggest role in his story.
Well, he's kind of like Kraven the Hunter in any Sinister Six comic.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't really belong.
He's just kind of let's see. PG-13.
Isn't he kind of like a chaotic neutral kind of guy?
He's just kind of Kraven the Hunter, but they're both just kind of assholes. PG-13, right?
Yeah.
We're good.
We haven't dropped the F-bomb yet in this episode.
We're not going
It's
to,
still-
right?
It's
But
still
every
T for
other
everyone.
Yeah. Now that you said Clayton was the only Disney villain who's not part of, the Legion, quote-unquote, but, you're forgetting the Queen of Hearts from the previous world?
Is she really a villain, though?
Well, in that world, she's not really framed as a villain so much as just, an obstacle, but, in the movie, she's the closest that movie has to a villain.
Which isn't really saying much.
I'd say that the villains of that movie were the Walrus and the Carpenter.
The villain of that movie is Lewis Carroll.
So, I think the villain,
villain
of this
is
world...
Abstract Map.
The villain of this world is not Clayton. It is not the chameleon. It is those pink monkeys who shoot you and explode money out of your body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking
They're
of,
just-
we've been talking about horrible, terrible things that were added in Final Mix. One of the unique... Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go again.
I didn't want you guys to have to suffer through this as long as I did. So
Yeah,
I'm
these vines are not the best. But anyway, one of the unique Heartless that you need to farm for a special material is a variant of those pink monkey Heartless that you fight in Traverse Town, and those things will waste you. If you if you go into the area where they spawn and you see one and you're not looking to farm, just turn around and come back into the room.
Yeah. They hit you every, second and a half with a sniper shot. And it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it stuns you and staggers you.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, and there's usually groups of 3, so, it's just a constantly, flinching towards the exit. Mm-hmm. I hope you brought arrow.
I think getting back to the Tarzan world, I think my biggest issue with the progression in this world is that there's not really very good feedback about what you're supposed to do and when you've accomplished your goal. Because the objective here is just to basically go back through the entire map and find all of the areas where the Heartless are holding one of the gorillas hostage or whatever. And then once you've done all that, you go back to the tent, talk to Jane, and leave the tent to trigger the next, story event.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure the gorillas don't actually, show up in the overworld or anything.
Nope.
So
No.
there's no, there's not really any way to tell whether you're in an area we're supposed to be or just fighting enemies in an area where there's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
But the worst part is that the gorillas that show up don't even look like Tarzan's annoying brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're all just the sprite, or the,
They're all just
the
the
model for his
same
mom.
generic model. Well, not quite.
No, his mom is, brown, isn't she?
Yeah.
Which is why not quite.
Yeah.
So they're a recolored model of his mom.
So,
Homemade from scratch, but not quite.
Like you were saying a second ago, like this is the one time in games where I'm like, if I would have just had one NPC say, "Hey, I think there's something going down at the village. Go check it out," but not like hold your hand and take you there, more just like point you there, just like, "Hey, I think something's happening over there." Yeah, I'm not gonna teleport you there. Go find out.
I'm pretty sure you have zero chance of making that jump without high jump, by the way. So
yeah, or glide. Now Kingdom Hearts 2 did go a little overboard with this.
Yeah, I was gonna
because
say
in that game
overcorrected this problem in 2.
Yeah, in that game, like every time you're given an objective, there's like a neon scrolling like line of text at the bottom of the screen that tells you what your objective is.
Yeah.
And every possible wrong way is blocked off with an invisible wall.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were talking about the World Ends with You.
Well, maybe it's a Nomura thing.
Same company.
Yeah, Chwui is much, much worse, though. So
yeah, although at least it kind of makes a bit more like in-universe sense in The World Ends with You. A little bit.
Well, doesn't Kingdom Hearts 2 have a bit more of like a mission structure rather than a level structure? Like
not really. I mean, it's all framed more or less the same way as it is in this game. It's just, I don't know, the user interface is a lot more. It's a lot more overbearing, I would say, in the second game. Although one of the things I do admire about 2 is, so we've got the command menu in this game, which is pretty, pretty cut and dry, like this. The little blue command menu in the corner, but in the second game they give you like unique art assets, not only for every world, but like different looking areas within each world. Oh, so we're giving Tarzan a test run, huh?
Yeah. Here's what I thought you were going to say. Is that Kingdom Hearts 2 does a very interesting thing where they change the button that you spam all game from X to triangle.
Well, no, you mostly still just spam X, but occasionally you have to spam triangle.
Yeah.
Well, in triangle you have to push at very precise times.
That's the hilarious thing about the QuickTime events in Kingdom Hearts 2, is like usually when QuickTime events are in a game, they'll have like a fail state if you just mash the button where it's like, oh, you pushed it too soon, now you can't do the QuickTime event. But in Kingdom Hearts 2, with the exception of like 1 or 2 like extremely late game QuickTime events, you're at absolutely no disadvantage if you just like mash the triangle button once one of those sequences starts up.
Well, it makes it harder to mash the X button.
See, in Kingdom Hearts 3, mashing triangle is also dangerous, because it could start like a 5-minute super move that you don't want to watch the cutscene for.
Oh, God.
With the, what are those? Not the flow motions, the ride moves.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's also a danger of doing it in Kingdom Hearts 2 if you enter a new world and you have the world partner with you.
Yeah.
And you forgot to turn off the always automatically turned on auto limit whatever.
Yeah. Remember Mulan?
That blows all your MP and makes you do a whole cutscene.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna sit there for 5 minutes while your MP recharges.
Oh my God, it's so slow in 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had our final climactic battle with Sabor.
Yeah, we straight up murder that cat.
Ripped out one of its fangs.
Sorry, Sabor.
You know what? I realized this when I was playing this level earlier today. There's a lot of kind of morbid shots in Kingdom where they just show you like a corpse on screen.
Yeah.
Because spoiler alert, Sabor is not the only character that we just straight up murder in this world.
Oh yeah. Well, also Clayton straight up has a gun.
Yeah.
That too.
It's the Clayton gun.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, does like the least damage of anything in this game.
Mm-hmm. Like his Heartless buddy does more damage.
Honestly, I'd have a lot more respect for this game if his gun just like one-shot killed you, because it's an actual gun and not like a little fantasy creature punching at you with its little funny claws.
Complete with like the GTA wasted screen.
Mortal Kombat blood spatters everywhere.
Fatality.
So yeah, I think someone called me or some shit. This is gonna go on for about 30 seconds.
Why do you leave this in, Trey?
Because I'm too lazy to look through the file. It's entertaining.
Well, it's entertaining to listen to us desperately struggle for things to say when this
Here,
happens.
hold on. Let me generate some autotainment. Somebody ask me a question.
Nick, what's
Do
your...
you eat ass?
Weed eater.
I was thinking you were gonna go that deep.
Nick, don't answer that question.
No, Nick, please do. The question's been
eater.
posed. Shave and a haircut. You gotta say it. Oh, it's these chicks again.
I've done my job. I've generated my autotainment.
Yeah,
I said weed eater.
we've made it through the storm. It's all
they're
it's all
just-
good.
They're just chucking nanners at me left and right now.
Yeah.
Are Kevin Smith movies PG-13? by the
No.
way? Yeah,
None of
I was
them.
gonna say, because that's the territory that we just encroached.
I feel like he is the kind of person that will never go for PG-13, but he always tries to stray away from X.
Well, Nick, you got any more of your auto jokes for this one?
Yeah, ask me a question that doesn't involve weird sex stuff. Well,
Okay,
not that weird.
what's
Anyway.
your favorite thing about Kingdom Hearts this world in Kingdom
Oh,
Hearts?
too late. Moving on.
Weed eater. All right, so.
We still haven't found a purpose for that little sidling area.
Yeah.
I know. We keep coming
on
back
closer
to it.
examination, yeah, I have no idea what that's supposed
Also,
to be
for the record, the whole other wall is also sidleable. Oh, I think that might be a thing. I think that there might be like a chest or something that you can only get by sidling on the other wall.
You know what I was probably doing? I was probably looking up where to go next.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm straight up lost. I don't want to have to keep wandering around in this place. I'm sick of this already.
Well, it's like, how would you
Sure.
know? Like, they show you a... That's another annoying thing about this game. Okay, and maybe it just annoys me, but they'll, like, try to give you clues about what you're supposed to do by showing you something that's happening to another character that Sora or the main characters will have no idea is going on, because they're in a completely different area.
Yeah. How would we know Clayton's over there?
Like,
You would just wander.
in a story-focused game like this, it just bothers me that it's like that doesn't make any sense.
It's like, man, Jane's like, man, I hope Clayton's okay. I wonder where he is. And then we hear like a roar or whatever coming from over that way. And we're like, all right, let's go over there, investigate. And then we fight Sabor. And it's like, all right, we still haven't encountered Clayton yet. I guess we should keep going.
Let's go over
But
there
no, we're
and
supposed
kill
to go
Clayton.
back to the tent instead.
Yeah. The implication of that scene, that cutscene that we just watched, was that Turk was running from Clayton, and the reason why Jane was like looking so scared is because Clayton was standing over both of them with a gun. But like
Congratulations, Trey. You did it.
Thanks.
You got a gummy ship part.
nothing. Yeah.
Isn't it so great?
Oh, yeah, can we talk about the naming convention of the gummy ship parts? Because I kind of despise it.
They're all like
Just
spells from Final
spells,
Fantasy.
right?
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
named. All of the parts are named after Final Fantasy spells. Like I think the engines are named like
I think they're gravity or something.
I don't know, but or like the cannons are named after like fire or thunder.
Yeah. And
But
then,
like you
all-
wouldn't like. I remember the first time I played this game. Like I had never played a Final Fantasy game before, and I was just
Well, that's
like,
your fault.
okay.
For face in there.
Hey.
Don't listen to him. He's being facetious.
I just distinctly remember getting treasures in this game and being excited that I got a new spell, and then I saw the icon, and I was like, oh, never mind, it's just a gummy ship part.
Well, yeah. When I first played
Or
this
I
game,
didn't
I
notice
didn't.
the icon, and I didn't see a new spell, and I was like, wait a second, let me check my gummy ship parts.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
another kind of barrier to entry for me for the like gummy ship customization because I didn't know what any of the parts were or what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I still don't, but I still love the gummy ship customization.
Well, it's
So-
not really that complicated because it's like you've got parts that are just like for building up the body of your ship. You've got your wings, you've got your guns, your engines, your cockpits, and then like some accessories. But like they're not called any of that.
But they're in sections like that. in
They
the
are,
menu.
but-
Congratulations, you defeated the giant eggplant.
Yeah. I always thought it was like a purple ball sack. That's what
I
it
always
looked like
knew
to
the
me.
ice climbers were behind this.
But Rapida on the uvula.
So yeah, they were trapped inside of it? Question mark?
They were trapped in like a little cave covered with vines, and I guess the giant eggplant was like connected to the vines or something. I wonder if they originally planned to have them like cocooned inside this giant purple sack. And they're like, that's a little too messed up. Let's just like put them somewhere else.
That's a little too
But
HR
we already
Geiger
have the
for this
model
game.
made, so like let's just make it something that you have to beat up to like open the door.
And the eggplant's connected to the plot. The plot's connected to the game.
And that's how Chili's was born.
Like the restaurant?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we'll find out where Clayton went next time after we go down the hole.
He went to Chili's. I was trying to tell you. Anyway, see you next time.
Bye.